What's up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing an overview forecast for all signs for all of us for the month of August 2019. Don't forget, I do weekly forecasts as well, so just stay tuned for those because I go into more detail about any other major aspects, but this is just an overview of how the month is going to go for all of us, what the cosmic weather is like, what's going on in the sky, and how does it affect us down here on planet Earth. So I do have forecasts for every sign for the month of August available on my website, indigomoon.astrology.com, on the horoscopes page for only 333 man. So if you would like to see what the month of August is like for your sun, your moon, or your rising sign being the most accurate, sun sign being super accurate too for timing, moon sign is accurate for like your emotional perspective on things or what may be going on for you emotionally or in your personal world, that's the moon sign forecast. So check those out on my website. I'll leave a link in the description box too. All right, guys. So the month of August, let me tell you, it's such a breath of fresh air. It's such a sigh of relief to see all this energy just shift into so much lighter energy from the previous month, from July. Oh my God. And we're easing out of eclipse season. We're still like in a month after eclipses, so we still may be seeing an aftermath of some stuff that they could have brought. I know we all talk about eclipses like we fear them. They're like something that goes on in the sky that you got to hide from and to be afraid of. Well, I'm not going to lie. Those eclipses were pretty intense though, because they did have aspects to Saturn and Pluto, which are known for being planets that can destroy and break things down and then build them back up again and have them rise again from the ashes. So that can make us go through some really difficult stuff, some stuff that we're faced with, in Saturn and Capricorn, especially the sign of Capricorn, where Saturn and Pluto are at, is about accountability. So a lot of us had a lot of things just thrown right in our faces. It's the eclipses bring karma. So there's a lot of karma brought back to people based on their past actions or ongoing actions, that something needs to stop, something has to give. So that's why the eclipses were pretty tough for a lot of us, for a lot of people. And then we have Mercury retrograde. Now, as we start the month of August, Mercury is still in its shadow period. Okay, it's still there until mid-August, until like the 15th of August, we will have Mercury in shadow. So I don't want people to be jumping for joy thinking everything's just going to go smooth just because July 31st, Mercury went direct. No. Shadow period is when Mercury still has to pick up speed, get back to its regular orbit. He's waking up, he's shaking off that retrograde feeling of like being confused and not operating normally. So also, when we get technical and nerdy, Mercury is going back over certain degrees in a sign that it passed over before it usually goes over a certain point like 3 times. And then once it gets out of that zone of those degrees of when it went retrograde, that's when it's out of its shadow period too, because it's going to be covering new grounds, new territory. Like Mercury, it went retrograde at 4 degrees of Leo back in July, right? It went retrograde here, 4 degrees of Leo. So it has to go back to 4 degrees of Leo and pass it. Then it's covering new territory. Then we can proceed forward with mercurial matters, which is like anything to do with communication, anything to do with correspondence with other people, anything to do with the mechanics of things, how things operate, and using our hands to do things, using our skills, using our minds to do stuff. That's Mercury. Mercury is also like talking to people, agreeing to do things, stuff like that. So if things were a little shaky, a little wonky, you know what I'm saying, in the last month or so, they're going to start clearing up after the 15th of August, okay, after Mercury passes 4 degrees of Leo. So that's when it's out of the shadow period. But for the first 2 weeks of August, we are still in shadow. So just be aware that, technology failures can still happen. Annoying stuff like that can still happen. Like I tried to do a live stream and I didn't realize that YouTube had updated its live stream platform. And it's all this new stuff. You have to download this and do this. And it was so confusing. I'm like, yo, why you guys do this right in the middle of Mercury and Shadow? Are you serious? So I couldn't even do my live stream. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm gonna have to go and figure out all this crap with YouTube and their new stuff, new ways of doing things. And of course, it's like hella confusing because Mercury's not back to normal yet. That means our brains are not all the way back to normal. We're still having typos when we type or text or whatever. There's still like miscommunications that are being cleared up. I've had people, hit me up and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong birth time for my reading. Oh, I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong email to send it to, so we're getting all that stuff cleared up, missing emails and all that. Yeah. Stuff that was accidentally deleted off of, spreadsheets and, or accidentally thrown away or erased. Like all that stuff is getting cleared up now that Mercury is moving forward. Hallelujah. Let me tell you guys. I hope everybody is, going to be looking forward to being back to normal, a little bit more normalcy for a little bit. Speaking of normalcy, we do have some planets that are in Leo, lots of Leo energy this month, that are making square aspects to Uranus, the planet of not being normal. It's the planet of weird, the planet of out of the ordinary, aliens, technology, the future, outside the box, rebels, hipsters, Uranus rules all that stuff, right? Anything that's like against societal norms and rebelling is Uranus. Uranus rules lightning, it rules electricity. So sometimes things can hit you like a strike of lightning and like, you're being electrically shocked or something. So when we have planets that are in Leo, they're making that aspect to Uranus, activating that electrifying like effect that we can have in somewhere in our lives. Now, of course, you got to see in your own chart or order a horoscope for your sign where Venus is at. I mean, where Leo is and where Taurus is, to know what areas of your life may be challenged, to make some sort of change. And it could be a sudden, unexpected change. So, but Venus and Uranus, though, like we do start out the month. It's exact on the 2nd of August, but it's like something that's building. You see, like August 2nd, it's exact 6 degrees and 6 degrees, the square. And then the sun is still square Uranus too. So we still have like some challenging aspects to Uranus, making us, all I'm going to say is expect the unexpected. Expect people to hit you up out of the blue. Expect to meet people that you've never thought you would meet. Expect, hopefully there's no bad surprises. I mean, like you suddenly lose money, which is Venus, or some people may experience sudden breakups because Uranus is about freedom and liberation from the old, from anything that is not authentically true to you. So Venus being relationships and love, well, any love situation that is not authentic to you, you'll want to break free from. And also, Uranus is like just something different from you, out of the ordinary from you. So Venus square Uranus, even though it's a challenging aspect, it'll challenge you to like maybe look outside the box or think outside the box when it comes to maybe you'll meet somebody that's like not even your usual type, but there's just something about them that like ignites a spark, of an attraction or something. I've had that happen during a personal Venus and Uranus transit. And it was just like, I never would have thought I would be attracted to this person or, like going out with this person. Like I never would have thought, but we just had such like a spark of like chemistry that was just on fire. That was just so bomb. And I was like, whoa, I never would have thought. Not that the person was like ugly or anything. It's just not somebody that you would have considered for whatever reasons, you know what I mean? So, but there's an attraction there. Venus and Uranus square can bring that. Sun square Uranus, that can bring some anxiety. It can bring anxiety. It can bring just any type of events in your life that are just, whoa, unexpected. But these aspects also bring out a little bit of weirdness in us to where we just like, I don't know, we're just a little more wacky, a little mad scientist in nature. And also it can challenge us to think outside the box. Even though this is the sun and Venus, they're not thinking planets, but they can like make us, challenge us to see things or feel things in a different way that inspire us to move or talk or, act differently. So that can mean, yeah, you're coming up with some crazy ideas, being very creative in different ways that you never would be, So there's some cool stuff that can come out of these squares to Uranus. However, yeah, anxiety, feeling like you need to break free from situations, whether that's with money, with love, with career, your identity. Maybe you just feel like changing your name or changing your style or changing something, with the sun here, square Uranus. So yeah, we still have this going on like the first week of August, pretty much. And also the sun and Venus are going to be pretty close together. I think for the whole month, pretty much. Yeah, the sun and Venus are pretty much conjunct each other the whole month. Sun conjunct Venus, if you're born with this aspect, which a lot of people are, because Venus travels pretty close to the sun. And of course, to all the super nerds out there, I don't mean literally like Venus is hovering around the sun, because she'll be burnt. Like the real planet Venus, she'll be burnt to a crisp, okay? Like I know that. She'll be crunchy, okay? But I'm talking about like they're in the same sign, around the same degree, traveling together, because Venus's orbit is very similar to the sun's orbit as far as like the speed and the time. So a lot of us out here are born with the sun in a conjunction with Venus in our natal charts. So this is sun and Venus together. It can help to bring a little bit more harmony and balance to situations a little quicker than usual. Especially like we have Mars hanging out here too, in the sign of Leo, like causing some drama, causing people to just overreact and think everybody's a hater and everybody is just so jealous. Like, oh my gosh. I love Leo energy. I have a dash of it in my own chart because both my parents have Leo energy in their charts, so they passed it down to me. There's a lot of Leo in my family. So yeah, I do have a dash of Leo too. So it's like, I get it. I love Leo energy so much. It's fun. It's exciting. It's about partying, celebrations, uplifting each other, inspiring, encouraging each other, complimenting each other, showing off our best skills and talents, having confidence, and having a high regard for ourselves. But it's also challenges to that too. All this Leo energy in the air is challenging us. Like, how much applause do we really need in order to really just like do because we know we can and we should and we're good at something. And we can just walk around just being us and doing us without needing to look for attention and applause. That's a downside to Leo energy. Some can go and want some people with this energy, but also like this energy being bestowed upon us can make us go in either direction. It's either we are feeling super confident and just like having a lot of fun and just getting out, and whatever skills we have, we feel like showing them off, strutting our stuff. I keep talking about that with Leo season. You're just a strutting. But so it could be that and being very confident. It could be overconfidence, overly like and showing off and everything. Being a little bit too macho, like a little too, because Leo is masculine energy. It's fire. The fire and fire signs are masculine. So it could be a little too much like showing off and stuff, and a little too confident to where you're like, oh, I am the shit and everyone should follow me and do as I say. Oh, like it could be that, and like everyone must bow down to me, peasant. Oh, I'm too good for this. Like it could be very much that, too regal and everything. Or it could be like just the right amount of confidence and security within oneself to be oneself. Or it could be like, okay, I really need attention. I want attention. So I'm going to act a fool and do some stupid stuff just to draw attention to myself, or demand attention from lovers or, other people. I demand to be worshipped and adored. And therefore I'm going to just be extra with what I wear, what I do, how I act, what I say, because I want all eyes and spotlights on me. So it can go either way. It's like one extreme or the other, or you can meet in the middle and just be cool, confident, have a good time, uplift your peoples, inspire your peoples, shine, just celebrate life and have fun. And you know what I'm saying? Like be childlike. And, that's the middle ground with Leo. So it can go either way. So I feel like Venus, Mars, and the Sun here, like it's a good mix. They will all like balance each other out. It's like you may have situations to where it's like, oh, really? Like, oh no, you're not starting stuff with me. I demand RESPECT because I'm the queen or the king. You know, like, and then the situation can flip and be like, okay, you know what? Never mind, maybe I was acting a little too much, acting out a little too much, and we can smooth things out. Yeah, okay, we can be cool or whatever. People can realize that they were being a little too much, a little too extra with things. So it can go either way, all different ways with all these planets in Leo. But yeah, find out where Leo is in your chart based on your rising sign, your sun sign, especially the sun and rising, and see how Leo season, all this stuff hanging out in Leo is going to affect you. So now moving along, we are going to have all these Leo planets make aspects to Jupiter, which I'll talk about more in detail in the weeklies. But this is like fire and good aspects to these planets in fire. So Jupiter is an action oriented planet too, and it's in an action oriented sign, which it rules, which is in a fire sign. So there's like lots of believing in your actions, believing in love, believing in your creativity, believing in yourself, that's going on this month, which is beautiful. I love it. The sun will trine Jupiter, Venus will trine Jupiter, Mars is already there, the beginning of the month. But we also will have Jupiter moving direct, and we'll have Mercury going back into Leo. And this all happens on August 11th. So towards the middle of the month, you guys, that's when things are going to start getting a little bit better. I feel like, they're going to start getting better because, because we will have Jupiter moving direct, right? And that means that blessings and abundance and all the good things that Jupiter brings will start to be able to move forward. And that means we'll be more forward thinking. Opportunities is Jupiter. So if you had opportunities come up when Jupiter was retrograde, and they just kind of fizzled out, it was just all talk, it didn't happen, then maybe those opportunities can be revisited once Jupiter moves direct. And maybe it's like, hey, I hit you up, I applied for this position or something like months ago and I never got a response, so I'm just checking back. And then maybe when Jupiter's moving forward, it's like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, sorry, got lost in translation, but let's talk, let's discuss this opportunity. So that can mean opportunities in anything, depending upon where Sagittarius is in your chart. That's where they could be going on. And then we've got Mercury going back into Leo out of sappy emotional Cancer. Oh my gosh, emo Cancer, remember the time, Cancer. Cancers, it's like, I love Cancers. I always attract Cancer men. They're so cuddly and sweet, and I love a lot of things about them. I have Cancer friends, Cancer family members. You guys are the most lovable people. I love you guys. But the energy of Cancer in the air, especially if you are also a water sign like Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and me personally, I'm 2 water signs. I'm double water, Pisces and Scorpio. Oh my God, Mercury and Cancer retrograde, going back over memories flooding your mind in an emotional way. Like, it can be beautiful, trust me. I'm sure there was some beautiful things. Like, I found some old pictures, some old magazines that brought back a lot of great memories, and I shared them with people and stuff, and it could be really dope. Going back to visit family, reconnect with family or people that are really close to your heart, reconnecting with them. There were some beautiful things about Mercury and Cancer, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, the emo-ness of it all, oh my gosh, it's gonna be over now. Mercury is going to be in Leo, back in Leo. Mercury first entered Leo in July. Let's look back. Was it July? No, it was June, the end of June. So we're going to be revisiting and looking at things from a different perspective, whatever was going on June the 27th, through the last few days of June, the last week of June. Yeah. And then like mid-July. Okay, so yeah, like the last week of June and mid-July, we're going to be revisiting all of that. The first couple days Mercury is in Leo. So maybe looking at those times from a different perspective and seeing more clarity of situations. So wherever the early degrees of Leo are at in your chart, take a look at that. But Mercury is going to be squaring Uranus, which I'll go over in the weeklies. So here's another planet being challenged by Uranus, and that can cause like maybe some technological stuff to to go wrong, especially while it's still in shadow, like up until like 4 or 5 degrees or whatever. Some sudden contact, out of the blue contact from people, stuff like that can happen with Mercury square Uranus, but it'll be back in Leo, y'all. I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure you guys are too. Then we will really have a lot of Leo energy in the sky, like Mercury, Venus, Mars, Sun, all the personal planets will be all up in Leo. Starting on the 11th, and then Jupiter moves direct. Oh my God, it's such a relief. Such a relief. Okay, so Uranus goes retrograde also on the 11th. So Uranus retrograde, Uranus is an outer planet, and so I don't really put too much focus on the forecast on like the outer planets that are super far away from the Earth going retrograde. But Uranus retrograde is like, when it's moving forward, it's rebelliousness, it's rebelling against things, against society, and against the norm. But when it's retrograde, it's like going within yourself and kind of like wanting to change things within yourself, within your own personal world. You're being challenged on what's stagnant in your world and wanting to change those things pretty much. So Uranus is going to be retrograde pretty much the rest of the year. It's going to be retrograde the rest of the year. It goes back to 2 degrees of Taurus. And the last time it was at 2 degrees of Taurus was July through September of 2018 last year. Okay, so we can be repeating some themes during this whole retrograde period from August until January. We could be repeating some stuff from 2018, and also, from April through August of 2019. We could be going back over some things and, changing some stuff up, okay? So we do have Mercury finally moving direct on the 15th of August. It's going to pass that 4-degree mark. It will be all good. But also on this day, we do have a full moon in the sign of Aquarius. It's at 22 degrees of Aquarius and Leo, because we do, full moon is the sun and moon together. It's going to be the wee hours of the morning over here on the west coast of the US and A. But if you're on the east coast, it'll still be in the morning. If you're in the eastern part of the world, it'd be like in the afternoon that you guys have this full moon. So the sun and Venus are exactly together, 22 degrees on this day. And also Mars is here, very close, in close proximity to the sun part of this full moon, the solar part. So these planets are going to be a part of this full moon in Aquarius. So Aquarius energy, now the Aquarius Leo axis, how they're opposite signs, right? That means that they have to they represent different things, but then they have some similarities too. So they're both about shining out there to the world in their own ways. Aquarius is more low-key, more humble. Well, yeah, they appear to be humble, but Aquarius they can have that God complex, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of be the master knowers of all in their minds, and every other human is dumb and beneath me. That's how Aquarius energy can act. But Leo can act like that too. They're just more open and boastful and showy about it. Aquarius is very smug and just this is beneath me, and they're quiet about it. But yeah, Aquarius energy is about reaching the masses, reaching the world in some sort of way, making an impact on the world. One person can make a wave. That's how I see the waves with Aquarius. I know they say it's the water bearer, but I feel like the waves represent many different things with the symbol for Aquarius. It's like when you throw a rock in a river, and it makes that ripple effect. That one little rock made a ripple effect that can go through the rest of the river, right? I feel like Aquarius energy is like that. You can be that one little rock, that one person that spreads information, knowledge, something out there to the world, and makes waves that spread out of whatever you're sending out. That's why Aquarius rules the internet, because the internet is over waves, right? Waves of Wi-Fi, or whatever, however you receive your internet service. This is information being transmitted over these waves, right? And one person can make something go viral. Going viral is Aquarius energy too. And so Leo is about also everybody looking at you and you being in the spotlight and being noticed and being known by the world. But it's like you really have to make an effort to show off and show out to do that. And you have to do it on your own with Leo energy. Aquarius energy is about the masses, and it's gathering groups of people together, like-minded people, to make a wave together, So this can be something just generally for all of us. Of course, check your sign to see where Aquarius and Leo land for you in your chart. But just in general, this could be, should I do something with a group of people? Should I be labeled as so-and-so from such and such group? Or they don't even say my name. It's just like you're included within this group. You're being credited as a group, not an individual effort. Say, for example, you put a project out there with a group and you're the main person that did like a lot of the stuff that everybody is going to see. But since you're affiliated with a group, a network, the network or group is being credited. You're just in the mix with that, blended in. But Leo energy is like me, myself, and I did this. Okay, I created this. Everybody look at me, credit me. I'm the star. I did it all by myself on my own. That's Leo energy. Having the stage to yourself. The spotlight is only on you. That's Leo energy. So it's like, do I go off and do this thing on my own and be credited as me, my name? Or do I go off with a group? Be in the mix with them, being credited as the group, but I'm kind of blended in and not really shining out there. You know what I'm saying? So for some people, maybe it is a decision like that. Should you go off on your own or should you go with the group? Should you do some internet project where you release it online, or should you do a solo thing like in person where like people see you in person and they know you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's just different things with this axis that could be brought to light with the full moon. And Venus is involved, Mars is involved. Oh, so this could be very passionate. Something that you're very passionate about that you want to put out there and show to the world. That's what this full moon can illuminate and bring to us. I don't see this full moon making any other crazy aspects to any other planets except for making a wide trine aspect and sextile aspect, which are good positive aspects, by the way, to Jupiter. And Jupiter is now direct. So this full moon actually could be about making some dreams come true, making some things happen. And I know that's very corny. Like everybody says, make your dreams come true. I know. But no, I'm serious. Like Leo energy really has belief in their talents, their abilities, believe that they're a star, Aquarius energy believes that they can make a difference and do something that's different and show the world whatever it is that they're doing or making. And they have the power to do that too, because hey, the waves, you know what I'm saying? You can spread things out, make things go viral. And then we've got Jupiter, which is big, expansive. It's like a projector, projecting everything out there on a huge screen for everybody to see, because you really have full faith and belief in whatever it is, and you're blowing it up big, So this could be a really good full moon for, especially if you're I always mention artists and performers because I'm an artist, and I'm trying to get back to being a performer. And I know I have tons of friends that are too, so you guys hold a special place in my heart. I'll always mention artists and performers and good aspects for them, in the horoscopes, because I also share a lot of my stuff with fellow artists and performers on my platform. But no matter what it is that you do, if you don't perform, if you don't do art, but you have something, this could be a good full moon for releasing that something out there for the world to see. There is, an in conjunction. I don't really look too much into in conjunctions, but they can have an effect sometimes, between this full moon stellium, the solar part of it, and the stellium in Leo and Pluto. So that can mean like there's something that may have to be broken down and then, something may have to die away that's old and then, be revived again, risen from the ashes with an aspect like this. But other than that, this is a good full moon for making some stuff happen. Let's just say that. Okay, and Mercury's direct on this day. Hallelujah. So after the 15th is when you can really proceed forward with stuff, and there's more clarity gained to any situations that popped up during Mercury retrograde, wherever Cancer is at in your chart, wherever Leo's at in your chart. All right. So on the 17th, we have Mars moving into Virgo. So we shift from having all this big old Leo stellium into having a Virgo stellium. And if you don't know what a stellium is, you guys, it's when there's like 3 or more planets in one sign. Okay, that's a stellium. Also, if they're like maybe in neighboring signs right next to each other, but they're all just lined up super close to each other, that can also count as a stellium too. So yeah, we have Mars moving into Virgo. Mars in Virgo, August 17th. So what does that mean? Well, Mars is action. It's, moving around, getting things done. And it's how you're performing those actions too. The nature of it is Virgo. What's motivating us? Mars and Virgo, I'm just going to tell you guys, I love Virgos. I have Virgos as friends. I have Virgos in my family. I have 6th house planets in my chart, so I can relate to Virgos a lot. But the energy is super nervy. Super nervous, super like, oh my God, we got to get this done. And we got to, oh my God, over here. Let me tell you, I used to work in the corporate world. I tell you guys that all the time. I was a corporate person in those offices and big buildings and, cubicle life and all that. Like that was me. Spreadsheets every day, all day. Yes, I've done a lot of those jobs. And I used to always run into the same lady every morning. I'm positive she had planets in Virgo, because she had this cup that said, a coffee cup that said, I love spreadsheets. And she said it was sarcasm. And I'm like, that's a Virgo thing right there. I know. And then plus, we would both be walking in opposite directions every day at the same time. Always almost run into each other because we both have that nervous Virgo walk. Like I have Mars in the 6th house. Okay. She has Mars in Virgo. So we both have that Virgo nervousness. Oh my God, the day is beginning. I must go get my coffee, or for me, my tea. And oh my God, I got to get to these spreadsheets. Like we were both on that mission. So but it was like at different time. I mean, different directions at the same time. We'd always almost run into each other. So that energy is like that. Mars and Virgo. Just imagine, even if you don't work in an office, you're not living that cubicle spreadsheet life. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever Virgo is in your chart, you could be a little bit more anxious, nervy, wanting to just get things done. Now, the good thing about Mars and Virgo is Virgo is a sign of the job, is a sign of work. And seeing things through to the very end of completion. Because look at the symbol for Virgo. It's the M, yeah, but it's got a tied end, right? You know that saying, don't leave any loose ends. Don't leave any ends untied. That's a Virgo thing. If you know Virgos, you know that they don't like to see people walking around with their shoes untied. Like they'll bend down and tie your shoe for you. Be like, look, I just did this for you because I just couldn't stand looking at it just hanging out there. Virgos don't like unfinished business. They don't like things being left open or left out and incomplete and in the wrong place. Like, so we can all kind of have that energy to a certain degree or extent, even if you're not a Virgo, right? We'll all be feeling it. So yeah, we could be a little more nervous, a little more like willing to see things through as far as work, like just really put all of our focus and concentration into anything we have to complete, any tasks that we need to complete. So Mars will be in Virgo from the 17th on through the rest of the month. And then Venus will join Mars a couple days later on the 21st. So Venus will enter Virgo. Mars is going to be in Virgo until October 3rd. Mars's orbit is slower than Venus. Venus stays pretty close to the sun. Okay, so she stays in signs for about a month unless she's retrograde. But yeah, Mars will be in Virgo until October 3rd. Venus until September 14th. So we have Venus and Mars in Virgo. This, I'm just feeling like, is like people cleaning their houses and beautifying their homes and being like, oh, I love, I retweeted a tweet the other day that said something like, there's nothing like the feeling of a burning candle in a clean house. And I was like, you know what? I can relate to that with my sixth house energy, you know? So this is what I imagine Venus and Mars and Virgo is like. You get up, you're cleaning, and you want to clean the house, and you want it to smell good. You want it to look nice because that's Venus. Venus's job right there. Mars is the task, you know, getting done. So a lot of people will be beautifying their living spaces, their workspaces, just, you know, wanting everything to be nice, pretty, clean, you know, functioning properly. You want things in their place. You want to organize things. So I'd imagine a lot of people are going to be spending time in like the home section, the home decor section, the home stores, you know, the places where you can decorate stuff. Those stores like Michael's and Hobby Lobby, where you can buy things and put them together. And it's like little projects that you can do to make stuff that's beautiful. And it's very hands-on. You build it yourself, which is Mars and Virgo. And it's something to beautify your space, which is Venus, you know. A lot of those little hands-on projects. So I would imagine that's what it's like the rest of the month to have these two together like that. But yeah, Venus and Mars together is very wild and passionate. While it's in Leo, that's more like the romantic, the affectionate, and just rare. Like, you know, the animal print and like just rare, you know, like I just want somebody and I'm just gonna like creep up on them and pounce on them like a wild cat. That's Leo. Venus and Mars in Leo. Venus and Mars in Virgo is more low key, more shy, more like, here, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna impress you. I'm gonna impress you by like, you know, buying you this vacuum cleaner, girl. Like, I know you've been eyeballing it, and maybe I'll score some points, you know what I'm saying, if I get you this fancy new vacuum. It's like more like that. It's like practicality and, you know, like being clean and organized and stuff. In Venus and Mars and Virgo is more shy. It's more reserved. It's more like, I'm gonna kick back and observe, and when I know it's cool to move forward, I'll move forward. But until then, I'm a little nervous. Like, I don't know if it's the right thing for me to do. Yeah. So the energy is going to shift when it comes to like Venus and Mars being romantic together. But also it's like people pleasing. Like, I just want to make sure that you're happy. You know, putting someone else before you, putting their needs before you. Virgo is the sign of service. So with Venus and Mars together, if it's like romantic, it is like, I just want to see you happy. So I'm going to work hard and make sure that I do whatever I can to see that. Yeah, Mars and Virgo. Okay, yeah, never mind. I ain't going to go there. But Mars and Virgo, let's just say they have a good rep when it comes to making sure that their partners are happy. Okay, winkety wink, wink, wink. Moving along. So the sun moves into Virgo and joins Venus and Mars on the 23rd of August. So then we've got this big old Virgo stellium in the sky. We still have Mercury and Leo. Now listen, this is going to be like a good season for finding jobs. This is when like the summer is ending. Well, at least like, you know, as far as the months, but the weather on the West Coast, it's still going to be summertime. Okay. Even in September, in some places, it'll still be like super mad hot. But anyway, this is when the summer is ending and people are going back to school, and then there's also the seasonal holiday jobs that are starting up. So this is like a good time, like, you know, it is that season anyway because the sun's in Virgo, but Venus and Mars also in Virgo. Yeah, it's a good time to work, put in a lot of extra work, a lot of extra effort into what you have to do. Getting out there, finding those jobs or finding jobs that you need to do within your own personal world, like errands that you need to run, things that you've kind of have had on the back burner because you were having too much fun. You know, when the sun, Venus, Mars were all in Leo, having too much fun. You know what I mean? When they were in Cancer, you were booed up, or you were too busy crying, or you were just hanging out at home with your family, being lazy, whatever. But when we've got all this stuff in Virgo, it's like, it's time to get to work. Okay, to work. You better work when all this stuff is in Virgo. And all this stellium in Virgo can make people like easily annoyed and easily agitated and kind of picking at each other. You know, don't tap into that energy, you guys, please, because I love Virgo energy, but I'm in a house full of Virgos and I know how you guys could be. And I'm not really looking forward to this Virgo stellium because they're going to be on one. Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, very laid back in a lot of ways. Like I'm very just like, whatever, it's whatever, we can worry about it later, about a lot of stuff that Virgos are like, oh my God, we got to do this now or else we'll die and it won't be perfect. So I'm just like, are you serious? We can like handle this in like an hour or two. Why does it have to be right now? Get to the chopper. Like, I don't know. Virgos can act like that about a lot of stuff. They're nervous about things getting done or not getting done. And this is a lot of nervous energy. However, once again, it's a really good energy to apply to getting things completed. You see them to the very end. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to leave any work unfinished. And it's like you go and go and go and go. Like the old school Energizer Bunny commercials, keep going and going and going. You're in that hamster wheel that you don't want to step out of when there's a lot of this Virgo energy in the air. So this could be good for a lot of us, to be in that hamster wheel, because maybe there's stuff we need to catch up on. Maybe when Mercury, the ruling planet of Virgo, was retrograde, there was a lot of stuff that fell behind or fell off the face of the freaking earth, it seems like. And you got to revive it, retrieve it, bring it back, and you got to get things done. So good for running errands and just like clerical work, paperwork, any important tasks that require you to be very detail oriented. That's all Virgo energy. So a lot of people will be on top of their game at their jobs. It doesn't matter what kind of work you do. So yeah, that's Virgo energy entering at the end of the month, the later part of the month, helping us to step it up and get things done, right? Okay. And then we have Mercury entering Virgo on the 29th. So the very last few days of the month is like, we really have Virgo all up in the mix, especially the 29th. We've got Mercury, Moon, Sun, Mars, Venus, all in Virgo. So yeah, the very last couple days of the month, you guys, is Virgo City. Okay, Virgo-isms are in full effect. So if you're a Virgo, you're going to be on Virgo overdrive. You're probably going to be drinking a lot of coffee and nervous about everything and trying to get a lot of stuff done. Just don't be annoying to people and pick at them, okay? Please don't be like, well, you did this, and I've been holding on to this ammo in my mind to pick at you about these certain little traits and qualities about you. Let me tell you about yourself real quick, like, and just fire off, things to pick at people about, little flaws that they have and everything. Please, Virgos, don't be doing all of that. The last couple of days of the month, you're going to be on one. But once again, this is really good energy, really good days. What day of the week is this? That's going to be the weekend. So the last weekend of the month, people are probably just going to be like hella busy, cleaning their house, organizing, cleaning their cars, just like getting a lot of work done, or getting paperwork organized and things alphabetized, and like it's really Virgo overdrive the last weekend of the month. So hey, the clubs may be deserted, you know what I mean? Like the places that everybody goes and parties at, people are gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna stay home because I gotta clean my carpets and my couches today. I gotta rent one of those machines and do some deep cleaning today. I'd rather be doing that than out partying. So if anybody plans any parties or any jams or anything like that the last weekend of August, you may want to reschedule, because people will probably just not be in the mood. They'll be like, yes, I'm here, but I can't stop thinking about the pile of laundry on my bed. Oh my God, it's just bothering me. I just want to go home and do it. I used to date this dude, and he was an Aries, but I'm sure he had Virgo or sixth house somewhere, because I went out to this really dope event, right? A really dope hip hop event. It was so exciting. There were people there that were like guests of, that were like OGs, that they were guests. They were flown in from other places in the world. It was one of those events that you didn't want to miss, because it's not like everyday local people and that's it. And I went to it and I was like, oh my God, it was so much fun, such a blast. And I asked my boyfriend at the time, like, hey, come, let's go to this jam together. Nah, he was like, oh, I just, I can't help it. I keep thinking about the carpets need to be cleaned. And so he stayed home and cleaned the carpets while I enjoyed myself out with other friends. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh my God, are you serious? So it may be one of those weekends, the last weekend of the month. I'm just letting you guys know. And then on the 30th, to add into it all, we have a new moon in Virgo. So the sun and moon in Virgo. I think it's probably like super early in the day or in the morning though, because it's the sun and moon at 6 degrees of Virgo. So yeah, it's like super early in the morning here on the west coast of the US, like barely into the 30th. But you know, everywhere else in the world, yeah, it's like in the morning. It's in the early part of the day. So we have a new moon in Virgo. Newness being brought to our world in Virgo ways, with Mercury, the sun, Mars, Venus, all sandwiched together. So wherever Virgo is at in your chart, this is a real powerful new moon. And I know that everybody says every moon is powerful, but no, this is powerful because it's being backed up by all these other planets in the same sign that the new moon is in. And then it's also being supported by Uranus. You know, Uranus is here in a fellow Earth sign, around the same, at the same degree as the new moon, actually. So this is like an expect the unexpected, but it's like Virgo energy likes to plan things out and be organized and detailed. So it's like you could plan things out all you want, but Uranus will bring you a little surprise, you know, so don't get all like frazzled if the plan doesn't go exact. Like of whatever you want to bring to your life that's new, wherever Virgo is in your chart, you can plan it out, but Uranus may throw in a little, hold on, let me throw a little lightning bolt in this plan. Booyah! You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that may happen with this new moon in Virgo, but it's being supported by Uranus. So it could be a good surprise. You know, you thought things were just going to be like, ho hum, they're just going to go a certain way. But it is like, oh, wow, I didn't expect this new thing or this, I don't know. Something good, hopefully. I don't see any other aspects being made to this new moon. It's being very heavily supported by Uranus, you know, and all these other planets in Virgo. So Virgo overdrive the end of August, you guys. So we go from Leo, party time, excellent, woo, 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 Wayne's World, into like, we got to work. You know, we're just not really into the whole partying thing anymore. There's lots of things to done. We got to clean up the party. You know what I mean? Got to clean up after Leo season with all the red cups everywhere and beer pong balls thrown around and, you know, all that stuff. It's time to clean up the party. Take the party hat off, clean up the confetti when Virgo season kicks in. Okay. So that's what it is for the month of August, you guys. The sun and Venus and Mars are very close together the whole month in Leo and Virgo. Okay. So those energies are in the sky very heavily. Just keep that in mind. So thank you for listening. If you listen this long, because your girl can talk. Don't forget to hit me up on my website if you would like a reading. Stay posted if I have any specials. I'm still doing a lot of catching up on things, so I may or may not have any specials in August, but I do have your horoscopes. If you go on the horoscopes page and order one of those, I would appreciate it greatly, and hopefully it helps you out with figuring out how to navigate all this Leo and all this Virgo. Like, where does it land for you? What is it doing for you this month in your own sign? So take care, you guys, and I will see you guys in the weekly videos. You can follow me on social media. I'll be back active on there very soon in the month of August, because this is my 10th and 11th houses. So these Virgo and Leo stelliums are going to like pull me to being back active on them anyway. All my socials are down below as well. All right. So peace out, everybody. Have a good month.